Work with houseplants for a living.
Naturally. My house is full of plants. People always ask me, what do you do when you go on vacation? I just got back from a 2-week trip, so let me show you what works, what doesn't work. The night before I left, I took all my plants outside. I watered very deeply. Like, water, wait, let it soak in, then water again. Sure, there's no dry spots. See, this didn't actually get wet. You need this whole root ball to be completely wet. Because I watered so deeply, the majority of my plants were completely fine for 2 weeks. The only plant that didn't do well, my 6-foot birds of paradise. So lesson learned with my large plant, take an empty wine bottle, fill it with water, and stick it upside down in the soil. So this big guy gets a little extra water while I'm gone.
It's really helpful with plant care to know what direction your window faces, but if you're directionally challenged like me, you may have no idea. There is a compass on your smartphone in the same section where your calculator is. Just point your phone in the direction your windows face and it will tell you exactly which direction you are.
Okay, so this is your reminder that if you have a large plant with large leaves, you should be wiping these leaves down. And this is why. For the record, this plant's new. I'm not a bad plant parent. Number 1, your plants look clean. Number 2, it gives you the opportunity to look for pests. And lastly, is because once they're dust free, they can better utilize the light you're giving them, which will make them happy and it'll make them grow better. You're welcome.
Unlike most plant stores, we never recommend watering your plant on a schedule, every 7 days or every 14 days, for example. This is because watering is going to change depending on the season that we're in. In the spring and summer months, we typically have very long days that are also very sunny, especially compared to our shorter days of gloomy winters. So if you have a watering schedule in the spring and summer months when we have long days, and you carry that same schedule into the winter months when our days are much shorter, it's very likely that you're going to be watering your plant too frequently, damaging the roots, and subsequently your plant. In our videos, you'll see us refer to the soil's level of dryness between watering. 25%, 50%, 75%, or even 100% between watering. Some plants just need the topsoil to dry out, but it's much more likely that at least 25 or 50% of the pot's going to need to dry out before you give your plant a good soak. Moisture meters are unreliable. Not only do they react to moisture in the soil, they also react to different ingredients in your soil, different fertilizers, and even if your soil's compact. Instead, we like to use a knitting needle, but you can also use a bamboo skewer or a chopstick. So from here, it's kind of like when you're baking a cake. You insert the knife into the batter, and if it comes out with wet batter on it, you know that it's not ready to be taken out of the oven. The same thing applies here. Let's say my plant needs to dry out 25% between watering. I mark that off with my thumb right here. I stick it down into the soil and bring it out. If it comes out with wet soil on there, I know that it's not ready to be watered. If I bring it out and it's dry, then I know that it's ready to be soaked. So let's say you've determined your plant is ready to be watered. It's really important that we saturate the entire root system. We want to make sure that we're hitting all those roots so that they can take up moisture and nutrients and disperse them throughout your plant. If you just water your plant with a cup of water, for example, it's not going to be enough to hit all the root system, and over time it'll create a really weak root system and won't support the growth that's above it. As long as you have the right light, soil, and drainage, you can't overwater your plant in terms of a quantity of water. So again, when it's ready to be watered, you could water it with a gallon of water or 100 gallons of water. It'll only take up so much and the rest will drain away. We also get a lot of questions about what's better, top watering or bottom watering. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're getting that goal of saturating the entire root system, either is going to be fine.
Hi, my name is Brandon the Plant Guy, and I'm here to tell you to stop watering your plants from the top. If you water your plants like this, and water is coming out of the bottom of your pot, that's not going to be a good thing. 2 reasons. 1, it causes the top layer of your soil to be moist, which will attract gnats or fungus flies, which you don't want in your house. The second reason being that you don't know for sure that the plant has gotten all the water it needs. So instead, what you can do is water from the bottom. How do you do that? Well, you literally just take a bowl or any kind of bucket or plate and put water in it, and then set your pot down inside for about 20 minutes. That's what I recommend, so that the roots can absorb the water it needs, and it'll tell you when it's done drinking water. Follow me on TikTok for more plant care videos.
This is called a prop box, and it's one of the easiest ways to clone plants. You want to take a clear shoebox and put sphagnum moss in it. Then you can just throw cuttings of your plants into the box, and they'll grow into new baby plants like this Monochrysum and Varicosum, which I'm giving away over on Instagram.
3 most important tips for keeping plants alive. Spend 5 minutes researching every new plant you bring into your home to find out its specific care needs. All plants need light, so make sure to supplement with artificial plant light if you don't have enough natural light. Drainage holes. All plants need a way to drain out excess water.
Y'all know what it is. Plant propagation and transplant. I took a stem cutting with multiple leaf nodes from my pothos, detached it from the roots like y'all need to detach from the two-faced friends who smile in your face and talk behind your back. Split the stem, put them in a glass, and filled it with filtered water covering all nodes. Place it in a bright spot, and after 5 days, her hair follicles started to open up. 7 days later, her edges started to grow back, and after 12 days, her roots had more inches than your hating friend's hair. Grab the 4-inch pre-soaked terracotta pot in my eco-friendly potting mix with cocoa core, worm castings, horticultural charcoal, and perlite. Our products are linked in my Amazon shop. Floated the cuttings and backfill so that the roots can grow down into the mix. Water it thoroughly. Created a humidity dome to keep the roots moist. And after a month of letting go of them leaching friends, her roots grew stronger and she's shining off.